Go. Himavan then accompanied Shiva in. All right, yep.
So yesterday they got married, and
Who?
Shiva and Parvati, Bhavani Uma. There was a bit of a meltdown. Parvati's mum had a bit of a meltdown after she saw Shiva come through the gates at the
Skulls on.
city with the naked, with the dreadlocks and the skulls, and thought, oh, it doesn't sound like such a good match for my beautiful daughter. But Parvati was like, this is my lot. And now they're going back to Shiva's mountain or whatever, wherever he lives.
Cool. Thanks.
So, onwards with the story.
Yes.
Honeymoon night. I think we hoped it was going to get a bit raunchy.
Okay. Here we go. Let's put a rating on this one. Himavan then accompanied Shiva in order to escort him with great affection. Shiva, however, sent him back, consoling him in various ways. The Mountain King returned home at once and summoned all other mountains and lakes. Himavan greeted them with due attention, gifts, polite words, and great honor, and allowed them all to depart. No sooner had Shambho reached Mount Kailasha than all the gods returned to their respective realms. Shambho and Bhavani are the parents of the universe. Hence, I refrain from portraying their amorous sports. Indulging in luxuries and enjoyments of various kinds, the divine pair lived on Mount Kailasha along with their attendants. Hara and Girija enjoyed some new delight every day. In this way, a considerable time elapsed. Thereafter was born to them a boy with 6 heads, who later on killed the demon Taraka in battle. The story of Sanmukha, the 6-headed deity, is well known in the Vedas, Tantras, and Puranas, and the entire world knows it.
Except for us two.
Yeah, we
missed that part
separate
of the
to
entire world.
Yeah. Yes. The tale of the birth, exploits, glory, and surpassing strength of Sanmukha is known to the whole world. That is why I have briefly touched the narrative of Shiva's son. Men and women who narrate or sing this story of the wedding of Uma and Shambho shall ever rejoice in their auspicious undertaking, as well as during festive occasions such as wedding, etc. The exploits of Girija's lord are illimitable, like the ocean. Even the Vedas cannot reach their end. How, then, can Tulsidas, a most dull-witted clown, succeed in describing them? Bharadwaja was much delighted to hear the sweet and charming story of Shambho's deeds. His passion for hearing the story grew to be inordinate. Tears rushed to his eyes, and the hair on his body bristled with joy. Overpowered with emotion, he could not utter a word. The enlightened sage Yajnavalkya was delighted to see his condition. Blessed indeed is your birth, O great sage, he said, to you the Lord of Gari is dear as life. Those who love not Shiva's lotus feet cannot even dream of pleasing Rama. A guileless love for Shiva's feet is the surest sign of a devotee of Rama. Who is so faithful to the Lord of Raghus as Shiva, who renounced a sinless wife like Sati and demonstrated ideal devotion to Rama by his pledge of unswerving fidelity? Brother, whom does Rama hold so dear as Shiva? Having begun by recounting the deeds of Shiva, I have come to know your secret. You are indeed a faithful servant of Rama, free from all impurities. I have come to know your virtues and disposition. Listen, therefore, while I narrate the story of the Lord of Raghus. O sage, I cannot say how glad I am at this meeting with you today. O Lord of sages, the exploits of Sri Rama are much beyond measure. Even 1,000,000,000 Sishas, serpent kings, cannot recount them. Nevertheless, fixing my thoughts on the Lord who wields a bow in his hand and the Lord of speech, I repeat the tale as I have heard it. Sharada, the goddess of speech, is like a puppet, while Sri Rama, the inner controller of all, is the master of the puppet show, who holds the strings in his hands. When he blesses a poet, knowing him to be a devotee, he causes the goddess to dance in the courtyard of his heart. To him, the benevolent Lord of Raghus, I bow and commence the recital of his fair virtues. Of all mountains, the most charming and the best is Kailasha, where Shiva and Uma eternally dwell. Hosts of siddhas, adepts, ascetics, and yogis, mystics, as well as gods, kinnaras, and sages, all lucky souls reside there and adore Shiva, the root of all joy. Those who have their faces turned away from Hari and Hara and have no love for righteousness cannot even dream of going there. On the summit of that mountain exists a huge banyan tree, which is ever young and is charming during all seasons. Fanned by cool, soft, and fragrant breezes, its shade is very refreshing. It is the favorite resort of Shiva, extolled by the Vedas. Once upon a time, the Lord betook himself beneath the tree and was much gladdened at heart to see it. Spreading his tiger skin on the ground with his own hands, the all-merciful Shiva sat down casually, his body fair in hue as the jasmine, the moon, and the conch shell, arms of inordinate length, a hermit's covering consisting of the bark of trees wrapped around his loins, his feet resembling a pair of full-blown red lotuses, and their toenails shedding a luster which dispels the darkness of the devotee's heart. Serpents and the ashes serving as ornaments of the slayer of Tripura, and his countenance eclipsing the splendor even of the autumnal full moon.
with his twisted coils of hair for a crown, and the celestial stream, the Ganga, adorning his head. Eyes as big as a pair of lotuses, throat dark with poison, and with the crescent shining on his brow, the Lord looked like a veritable mine of beauty. Seated there, the destroyer of Cupid looked like an incarnation of the sentiment of quietism. Finding it a good opportunity, Mother Bhavani called on Shambho. In recognition of her wifey love, Lord Hara showed her great courtesy and assigned her a seat on his left side. Parvati gladly sat down beside Shiva and recalled the history of her past life. Presuming that her lord cherished in his heart greater love for her than before, Uma smilingly spoke the following sweet words to him. The daughter of Himalaya sought to elicit from her lord the story which is profitable to the whole world. O Lord of the universe, O my master, O slayer of the demon Tripura, your glory is known to all the three spheres. Animate as well as inanimate beings, Nagas, men, and gods all do homage to your lotus feet. My Lord, you are all powerful, all wise, and all blissful. You are a repository of all arts and virtues and a storehouse of yoga, wisdom, and dispassion. Your name is a wish-yielding tree, as it were, to the suppliant. O blissful Lord, if you are pleased with me and know me to be your faithful servant, then, my master, disperse my ignorance by repeating to me the various stories of the Lord of Raghus. Why should he who has his abode beneath a wish-yielding tree undergo the suffering born of want? Bearing this in mind, O Lord, with the crescent of on the forehead, dispel the great confusion of my mind. O Lord, the sages who discourse on the supreme reality speak of Rama as the Brahma who has no beginning. Sesha and Sharada, as well as the Vedas and the Puranas, all sing praises of the Lord of Raghus. You too, O subduer of love, reverently repeat the word Rama night and day. Is this Rama the same as the son of the king of Ayodhya, or some other unborn, unqualified, and unperceptible being? So this is how we get stories. If a king's son, how could he be Brahma, the infinite? And if he were Brahma, how could his mind get unhinged by the loss of his wife? When I see his acts on the one hand and hear of his glory on the other, my mind gets utterly confused. If, my Lord, there is any other desireless, all-pervading, and all-powerful Brahma, instruct me about the same. Be not angry at my folly, but take steps to wipe out my ignorance. In the wood, in my previous birth, I witnessed Sri Rama's glory, although I was too awe-stricken to tell you. Yet my mind was so impure that I did not understand, and I repeated a good return for my folly. Some doubt still lingers in my mind. Be gracious to me. I implore you with joined palms. Lord, you instructed me then in ways more than one, yet I did not understand. Do not allow this thought to anger you. I have no such delusion now. I find developed in me a taste for hearing the story of Rama. Recount the sacred virtues of Sri Rama, O Lord of Immortals, having the serpent king Sesha for an ornament. Placing my head on the ground, I adore you, your feet, and entreat you with joined palms to recount the unsullied glory of the chief of Raghus, giving in substance the conclusion of the revealed text, the Vedas, on the subject. Though as a woman I am not qualified to hear it, I am your servant in thought, word, and deed. Saints do not withhold even as esoteric truth wherever they find a man smitten with agony and therefore qualified to receive it. I ask you with a heart sore distressed, be gracious enough to narrate the story of the Lord of Raghus. First tell me, after a mature thought, what makes the unqualified Brahma assume a qualified form. Then, my Lord, relate the story of Sri Rama's descent and tell me next the charming exploits of his childhood. Then let me know how he wedded Janaka's daughter Sita, and the fault for which he had to renounce his father's kingdom later on. Then describe the innumerable deeds performed by him while he lived in the forest. And further tell me, my lord, how he killed Ravana. Then relate, O blissful Shankara, all the numerous sports that were enacted by him after his coronation. Therefore relate, O gracious Lord, the miracle wrought by Rama, how the jewel of Raghu's line proceeded to his divine abode along with all his subjects. Then expound, my lord, the truth in the realization of which enlightened sages remain absorbed, and thereafter discuss in detail the conceptions of devotion, knowledge of the formless, absolute.
Sorry, I'm not. It's Ghana, isn't it?
Ghana,
Ghana yoga. Is it Ghana?
Yeah, it might be. Ghana.
Like I know where I don't know.
Yeah.
I know it's got the J there, so it's Ghana, but it's Ghana. Isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
I've heard that said before, but like I keep seeing it, I keep getting confused as well.
Jnana yoga.
Jnana is like the mind one.
Yeah, the one of
Jnana
thinking.
yoga, yeah.
Mm.
That's how I've heard it say is Jnana. But they've got a J there, so it sounds like Jhana. But normally G would be there, but it's confusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Guyana.
Yeah.
But I think most of the time you see J, it's J. It's confusing.
Unless it's yeah. Yeah, I'm just because the next one would then be Vijnana.
Where?
Vijnana of the knowledge of qualified divinity with and without form and dispassion. Is it the J and the N together that make the Jnana?
Yeah. Maybe it's the J and the N, yeah.
Or maybe it's a squiggly N. I don't know.
But I think it might just be the J and the N. Yeah.
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 Over and above this, O Lord of purest understanding, reveal to me the many other mysteries connected with Rama. And if there be anything which I have admitted to ask, do not keep it back, my gracious Lord. You are the preceptor of all three spheres, so declare the Vedas. What can other poor creatures know? Shiva was glad at heart to hear these questions of Uma, naturally pleasing and guileless as they were. All the exploits of Rama flashed on his mind. The hair on his body bristled with rapture and his eyes filled with tears. The figure of Sri Rama was reflected on the mirror of his heart. This brought immense joy to Shiva, who was an embodiment of his supreme bliss himself. Again.
For an hour or so, Shiva was lost in the ecstasy of meditation. Let's just
For an hour.
Let's give you an example of that. Nah, I'm just joking.
I don't really know what the bliss of meditation.
I just didn't want to wait an hour.
And then light.
He then recovered himself and thereafter.
That's what you have to do after you've been in a bliss of meditation for an hour. Recover.
What the hell is this world? He then recovered himself and thereafter began joyfully to tell the story of Rama. Due to lack of knowledge about Sri Rama, even the unreal passes for real. Just as ignorance about a rope leads us to mistake it for a snake.
I've heard that one before.
Well done. Even so, the moment we know him, the world of matter vanishes, just as the delusion of a dream disappears as soon as we wake up. Him do I reverence in the form of a child, the repetition of whose name brings all kinds of success without easy reach. May that home of bliss and bane and woe take compassion on me. He who sports in the courtyard of King Dasharatha. After thus paying homage to Rama, the slayer of demon Tripura joyfully spoke in mellifluous accents as follows. You are...
Can you
You
do
want me to
that?
do Shiva's voice?
Yeah, but what did you say? Mellifluous.
Mellifluous. Okay, well, I have no idea what that means, but
Mellifluous
I'll have
accent.
it. I'll have
I
it
want to
too.
hear what a mellifluous accent.
You are indeed blessed and worthy of applause, O daughter of the Mountain King. There is no such benefactor as you. You have... Am I doing it?
I don't know.
I'm doing something.
Yeah, you are doing something, that's for sure.
You have asked me to repeat the history of the Lord of Ragus, which is potent enough to sanctify all the spheres, even as the Ganga purifies the whole world. You are full of love. You are full of love for the feet of the hero of Ragu's race. You have put you have put question to me only with an eye to the good of the world. I'll go back to my normal voice.
Oh, yeah.
Can we keep going?
No, we're never going
It's
to get through
still
the book.
quotation marks. By the blessing of Rama, O Parvati, not even in dream can grief, infatuation, doubt, or error enter your mind, so far as I can judge. There's still quotation marks. Do I have to keep going?
No. I think you can go back to what you
can.
can.
Can I keep going?
You can go, sure.
Yeah, you.
We'll get people to vote.
Yes. We're never going to look at the votes, though. You can vote.
We're just not that organised.
We're not going to count them, though.
Very close
That's
to
a good way to do a referendum.
You can vote, we're just not going to.
Shouldn't bring up that.
There you go. Tells you what time of year it is.
Oh.
We're in place and time all of a sudden.
Here we are. In time.
And place.
Yet you have expressed the same old doubts again, so that all those who repeat or hear this account may be benefited thereby. The ears of those who have never heard the stories of Sri Hari are no better than snake holes. The eyes of those who have not blessed... Excuse me. The eyes of those who have not blessed them with the sight of saints are as good as the sham eyes in a peacock's tail. The heads that bow not at the souls of Sri Hari or of one's preceptor are just like the bitter pumpkins. Those who have cherished not in their heart the spirit of devotion to Sri Hari are as good as dead, though living. Sometimes I just don't see the full stop coming and I stuff up.
Sometimes the sentences can be quite long.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of commas and not many full stops. The tongue that does not sing the praises of Rama is just like the tongue of a frog. The heart which does not rejoice to hear the tales of Sri Hari is hard as adamant and cruel indeed. Hear, O Girija, the exploits of Sri Rama, which prove beneficial to the gods and mystify the demons. Like the cow of plenty, the story of Rama bestows all blessing.
I want a cow of plenty.
You were doing something cheeky.
No, I just want a cow. I want to
The
get
quickest way is
where
for
do
me
you-
to look at the screen, see your face.
Where do you buy a cow of plenty?
There's a place
Near Bunnings.
near Melbourne called Plenty.
Wow. Do they have cows?
It's mostly houses.
Oh. Missed an opportunity there.
No, I lost my spot.
Cow of plenty.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know where it is.
Plentiful cow.
Oh,
The cow with the most.
like the cow of plenty, the story of Rama bestows all blessings on those who devote themselves to it. And the assemblages of saints are the various abodes of gods. Knowing this, who would not listen to it? The story of Rama is the lovely clap of hand palms which scares away the birds of doubt. Even so, the story of Rama is an axe to the tree of Kali Yuga, the impurities of the Kali age. Listen to it with reference, O daughter of the Mountain King. The charming names of Sri Rama, as well as his virtues, stories, births, and deeds, have all been declared by the Vedas to be beyond number. As there is no end to the divine Rama, even so his stories, glory, and virtues are also endless. Yet, seeing your great love, I will tell them even as I have heard of them to the best of my intellectual capacity. Uma, your inquiries are naturally winning and delightful, and such as are approved by the saints. As for myself, I am particularly pleased to hear them. But there was one thing, Bhavani, which I did not like, although you uttered it under a spell of delusion. You suggested that the Rama who the Vedas extol and on whom the sages contemplate is someone else. Such words are spoken and heard by those vile men alone who are possessed by the devil of infatuation, are impious and averse to the feet of Sri Hari, and know no difference between truth and falsehood.
Foolish, ignorant, and blind wretches, the mirror of whose heart is clouded by the film of sensuality, lecherous, deceitful, and grossly perverse, who have never seen an assemblage of holy men even in a dream, and who have no sense of gain and loss. They alone make statements which are repugnant to the Vedas. The mirror of their heart is soiled, and they have no eyes to see. How then can those wretched souls behold the beauty of Sri Rama? For those who have no knowledge either of the unqualified Brahma or of qualified divinity, who indulge in fantastic utterances of various kinds, and who spin round in this world under the influence of Sri Hari's deluding potency, no assertion is too absurd to make. Those who are delirious or mad, those who are possessed, and those who are inebriated do not talk sense. None should give ear to the ravings of those who have drunk the wine of infatuation. Thus assured in your heart, discard all doubt and adore Sri Rama's feet. O daughter of the Mountain King, hear my words, which are sunbeams, as it were, for the darkness of error. I like that. I'm going to use that. Sunbeams, as it were, for the darkness of error.
What about it?
It's like it's a good way to say someone's wrong and you're right. I'm just going to clear up the darkness of your error. There is no difference between qualified divinity and the unqualified Brahma. So declare the sages and men of wisdom, the Vedas and the Puranas. That which is attributeless and formless, imperceptible and unborn, becomes qualified under the influence of the devotee's love. How can the absolute become qualified? In the same way as water and the hailstone are none different in substance. Infatuation is out of the question for him whose very name is like the sun to the darkness of error. Yep, like that one. Sri Rama, who is truth, consciousness, and bliss combined, is like the sun. The night of ignorance cannot subsist in him even to the smallest degree. He is the Lord whose very being is light. There is no dawn of understanding in his case, for the dawn presupposes night, and night there is none in the sunlight of Sri Rama. Joy and grief, knowledge and ignorance, egoism and pride, these are the characteristics of a jiva, finite being. Sri Rama is all-pervading Brahma. He is supreme bliss personified, the highest Lord and the most ancient being. The whole world knows it. He who is universally known as the Spirit, the fount of light, manifests in all forms and is the Lord of life as well as of matter. The jewel of Raghu's line is my master. So saying, Shiva bowed his head to him. To who?
No,
Okay.
I think.
Is he in the room or is he just doing it because he feels like okay, yeah, he's just being observant. Fools, here we go, do not perceive their own error. On the other hand, those stupid creatures attribute infatuation to the Lord. Just as on seeing the sky covered with clouds, men of unsound judgment declare that the sun has been screened by the clouds. To him who sees with a finger stuck into his eyes, the moon appears as doubled. Don't stick your fingers in your eyes, everyone. Don't stick your finger in. Uma. Infatuation is attributed to Rama in the same way as darkness, smoke, or dust appears in the sky. The objects of the senses and their pervading deities, as well as the jiva, embodied soul, all these derive their illumination from the other. That is to say, the objects are illumined by the senses are illumined by their presiding deities, and the deities presiding over the senses are illuminated by the conscious self. Whew. The supreme illuminator of them all is the eternal Rama, king of Ayodhya. The world of matter is the object of illumination, while Rama is its illuminator. He is the Lord of Maya and the abode of wisdom and virtues. It is due to his reality that every unconscious matter appears as real through ignorance. Just as a shell is mistaken for silver and a mirage for water, even though the appearance is false at all times, in the past, present, and future, nobody can dispel this delusion.
In a like manner, in this world of matter, superimposed on Sri Hari, though unreal, it gives us pain nonetheless, just as if a man's head is cut off in a dream. He is not rid of pain till he wakes. Okay, take your word for it. Girija, no, I've had scary things happen, but not heads cut off. But maybe I can't remember.
Well, you didn't have your head?
Lost my mind. Girija, he whose grace wipes out such delusion, is none else than the benevolent Lord of Raghus. Nobody has been able to discover his beginning or end, Basing their conclusions on speculation, the Vedas have described him in the following words. He walks without feet, hears without ears, and performs actions of various kinds, even without hands. He enjoys all tastes without a mouth, palate, and is a most clever speaker, even though devoid of speech. He touches without a body, the tactile sense, sees without eyes, and catches all odors even without a nose, the olfactory sense. His ways are thus supernatural in every respect, and his glory is beyond description. He who is thus extolled by the Vedas and men of wisdom, and whom the sages love to contemplate, is no other than the divine Rama, the son of Dasharatha, lord of Ayodhya, and friend of his devotees. When I behold any creature dying in the holy Kashi, the modern Varanasi, it is by the power of his name that I rid it of all sorrow, liberated. He is my Lord, the chief of Raghus, the sovereign of all creation, animate as well as inanimate, the witness of all hearts. If men repeat his name, even in a helpless state, sins committed by them in a series of previous existences are burnt away, while those who devoutly remember him are able to cross the ocean of mundane existence as if it were a mere hollow made by the hoof of a cow. Rama is no other than the Supreme Spirit. Bhavani, your assertion that he is subject to delusion is wholly unwarranted. The moment a man harbors such a doubt in his mind, his wisdom, dispassion, and all other virtues bid adieu to him. When Parvati heard Shiva's illuminating words, the whole structure of her sophistry collapsed. Attachment and devotion to the feet of the Lord of Raghus sprang in her heart, and her shocking incredulity disappeared. A little bit. I'll go a little bit longer. Clasping the lotus feet of her Lord again and again, and joining her lotus-like palms, Parvati spoke the following fine words, steeping them as it were in the nectar of love. Now that I have listened to your words, which were refreshing as moonbeams, my ignorance, like the feverish heat of the autumnal sunshine, has faded away. You have removed all my doubt, O gracious Lord, and the reality of Rama has been revealed to me. By your grace, my Lord, my gloom has been lifted, and I feel happy now by the blessing of my Lord's feet. Now, regarding me as your slave, even though I am a woman, ignorant and stupid by nature, answer my former question, if you are pleased with me, my Lord. Rama, I now understand, is no other than the indestructible Brahma God, who is consciousness itself, and who, though bereft of all, yet dwells in the heart of all. Why did he take the form of a human being? Explain this to me, O Shankar. Hearing Uma's most polite words and seeing her unadulterated love for the story of Sri Rama. Should I read that a little bit
Yes.
before the pause? Yeah. The all-merciful and all-wise Shankara, the destroyer of Cupid, was glad at heart and extolling Uma in so many ways, said, and then it says pause.
For 30,
Pause 1 for a 9-day recitation,
just 9 days.
and pause 4 for a 30-day
Oh,
recitation.
then
So
this
that's if
says-
you're saying the whole book in 9 days, this is the first time you get a break at page 126.
Okay.
Thanks. Whole book in 9 days. That'd be awesome to do one day, wouldn't it? And then this is the 4th time you're going to break for a 30-day recitation. We'll get better at it. Might take a few years for the first recitation of us.
Well, especially if we take 30 days now.
Page 126. So, yep. There you have it. Another riveting
So now
account of Rama's virtues.
we're up.
And
we're up to how
what's
Shiva is now going to tell us the story of
Yeah.
Rama.
Yeah.
That's the whole part. But all we read then was Uma going, "Please tell me the story," and she would go, "Blah blah blah blah."
Oh, yeah,
blah.
story.
Okay.
Well, it's going to be good.
So we're getting there. We're getting to the story.
Well, it's time for us to go to bed. So we'll see you next time.
Yep.
Good night.
Tonight.